Bruh. Okay, lots of posturing beforehand. She uses a key immediately. Gets launched on. Oh, we see the tap. What is that in the air he used? He saw that saw her jump in, meets her, gets a fatal counter, gets the full pickup off the ground here. Gets a juggle off that and a relaunch. That's kind of nice. Wake up moon drive. We've seen that into the DP. How does she side switch from there? Is that automatic? Very interesting. So she's got side switch combos in the corner. That's pretty strong. He was so high because of the moon drive. And here we go again. Yeah, gets the double jump in the air. She tried to use a key there and he sniped it out and then gets full screen punish and just dies. We can go back and see that. So she uses a key here, uses a key there. She tries to throw one right here and then he snipes that out. And then she explodes for it. This is way more interesting than the maids, I'm gonna be honest. He does a lot of damage, but I guess he has to since he's all mid smile. So she only used 6 keys, and she gets a complete refresh. Man, I'd be hella. So a lot of people at first were like, oh, you know, or I guess more so I was thinking she only has 10 keys per round, but 10 is actually a lot just for a round in this game. Rounds aren't really fast, but I mean, you 10 keys in a minute. Nice, and just instantly confirms, and then she gets a... So was that moon skill? No, that was EX. And then she gets a carry off that, which is pretty strong. Nice. Dude, Roa has some pretty sick combos, actually. A little bit of charge. Gets supered. Looks like Roa takes a fat amount of damage here. Blocks the... Okay, so blocks the burst and then... Or I'm sorry, the heat. And then punishes that shit. Alright, last round. Let's pay attention how she uses her keys. So Noel's neutral game seems like it really does consist of throwing keys and then looking for confirms. And this is what they told us directly whenever they released or whenever they showed her trailer. So she's going to be very heavy on the long range keys into confirms. And then she can also EX key, I believe. So that was... He was blocking low there, right? Yeah, he's blocking low, and then she does the stance, and then overhead, get fucked. Into launcher. Music is so good. Key. So it looks like she can use the keys to reset her pressure. It's kind of like... It feels almost a little bit like Ram Sword in that you have a limited resource, but you can use it to kind of reset your pressure in a way. Now, how safe that is or not, we don't know, but seems like because she has him in here. Like, look, she's literally goes through like 4. She starts with 9 here, and when she gets him on the ground, key, pressure, key. He tries to press a button. She goes for the high, goes for the low. He shields the low, and then so honestly, that was a lot of pressure he took, and he actually responded very well to that. Throws her back in the corner. He tried to go for the grab and she jumped out of it. So it looks like jumping out of his pressure will be key because because he doesn't have like, you know, highs and lows and mix. He's you know, honest mids rowing, and that really does come through in this gameplay. The heat activation, or I'm sorry, the blood moon activation. Into the launcher. Takes him all the way up. And then he just confirms off that. Gets the one. Jeez. So heat into heat. No, that's not what happened. He heats on her. Why does he do that? It looks like the heat almost picks her up. It does. That heat counts as an extra hit. That feels kind of like how Red RC counts as a hit. That's really interesting, actually. Also, he heats while he's in Moondrive, by the way. Have we ever seen that before? Someone heat while they're in Moondrive? And it extends his combo. I'm assuming he could have kept going, but then she uses a reversal. Because you can see the invincibility pops up and then she heats after. Okay. And then she confirms off this with super. Yeah. And look, that was just off key, right? Yep. Was that off of EX key? I guess it's harder to tell. And then she goes instantly into the super. Not dead, but she gets the Oki. Uses the last of her keys to keep her pressure safe, and then she kills him. Very interesting. This gameplay was super exciting, honestly. Very, very good shit. That was one of the more exciting gameplays they've released. I want to go back over the beginning part just a little bit, because I want to see more of her key usage. Her keys are very, very important for her. And she gets 10 around, so she can be a little bit obnoxious with them, but once she gets lower on them, you see her use them more reserved. Key here. So she's literally just like, yeah, she's looking for those confirms from far away. She gets, what does she get fatal counter by? Uses the key. It just is trying to press. Oh, she's probably trying to confirm off the key automatically, right? She probably didn't wait. Just try to press the button. He smoked her out. Actually, no. This is a good instance of, so in close range, because of her long weapon, her button probably has slower startup than most, right? So in close range, she tried to press, he pressed first, and she just gets smoked. That's absolutely her weakness. Is up close, her buttons are going to be slower than others. She'll eat a fatal counter and then get wrecked. Another one, fatal counter in the air. Skill bonus, he gets a re-jump off that. Gets the Oki. It tries to air dash in. She DPs through it with the Blood Moon. And then gets the fat reset because of that. Still at 9 keys, by the way. She's just wailing on him now. Now the keys come out. She was going to key again. And then he just confirms. So what is she... He heats to get a lot of his health back here because he was getting absolutely wrecked. And then he hits, dude, that move is so fast. She blocks the first two, and then you can see, look, he punishes her key throw numerous times, actually. That's going to be key in playing against Noel. Is punishing her key attempts because she just gets combos off of that. And then he just confirms because his super is full screen. He just confirms right into it and she just dies. That's so strong. So that's absolutely his game plan because he is full range like that. So for a character like mine, who I'm going to be playing Arc, obviously, my goal would be to avoid her key usage and then in a mid-range, use her gap close Rekka ability. I think it's called like Where Are You Looking or something. To punish her key throw and then get a full fatal counter off it. Alright, so she starts off keys. He shields it, but doesn't do any follow-up. Just takes the moon fill. Okay. A lot of posturing. He jumps in the air, doesn't move, is unsafe, and then she confirms and then gets that relauncher. Yeah. So he shields the key and then does the punish off of it. So that's going to be a thing about playing against Noel, is that if you can get a feel for when she wants to do her keys, you can just shield and punish that shit. That's a lot of projectiles in the game, right? Calling it out. Projectiles are very susceptible to shield punishes for sure. Jumps over the key that time. Just gets hit because she's in that perfect range, that mid range, where she outranges him, and he can't do anything to her from here. All of his specials would probably lose, and she just has to swing, and then she just goes straight into super. So this was super interesting right here. Runs up. So runs up on the Oki, right? Everyone is like, oh, they're going to go for the hit. The typical, you know, hit into the wake up blood moon, which he could have done. But she shields. He heats. I almost called it burst again. And then she punishes. And obviously he gets nothing from his heat. And if you look, his gauge drains incredibly quickly as he's getting hit. That shit goes so fast. The last round we already went over, but I'll let it play again. See if we missed anything. Keys from the long range, looking for that confirm. Goes for the stand, so the stance into the overhead again, and then gets the launcher that he was not expecting. Keys again, and this is where she used the keys is to keep resetting her pressure, make him afraid to press. And then he shields it because he's like, all right, I know your game. Goes her into the corner, tries to confirm, doesn't get anything. I wonder if he used that specifically to keep her in block stun. It's probably like a win-win for him, right? Because if she gets hit, he gets to confirm. If she blocks, because of that, he can move after and he can just go in for a mix-up. So that's pretty strong. Then the only way he can open her up is by a grab, so that doesn't work out too well. And then you can see how she sucks him in right there. That restand sucks him in, vacuums him in, and then she gets even more off of it. So strong. Whenever she does get those confirmed, it's going to really hurt, as we can see here. Cancels the moon drive. Okay, I actually didn't notice that last time. Does that, cancels into the moon drive, and then immediately... I'm assuming that's a moon skill that he uses to get her. It feels like the key against him is really like blocking it out, waiting for the grab. This was a super good set that they showed, actually. This is probably one of my favorite gameplays. Key mix and then the low. Disgusting. From mid-range. That's like 2S range for her, too. Alright, that's the gameplay. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, guys.